Picture this, March 2020. The stock market is in absolute freefall. Trillions wiped out in days. People are panic selling everything. And in the middle of all that chaos, the Federal Reserve quietly picks up the phone and calls one company to basically run the rescue operation for the entire U.S. bond market. That company? BlackRock. Most folks have never even heard the name. Yet they just got handed the keys to the financial system at the exact moment everything was on fire. Fast forward to today. BlackRock sits on roughly $13 trillion. That's more money than the GDP of Japan, Germany, and India combined. Your 401k, your teacher's pension, half the stocks your bank owns, there's a damn good chance BlackRock has a piece of it. And they didn't take it by force. Nobody stormed Wall Street with guns. They just showed up every single time the system almost collapsed, fixed the mess, collected their fee, and walked away bigger than before. So how the hell did a bunch of bond nerds from the 1980s end up holding more economic power than most countries on Earth? Grab a drink, because this story is wild. It all starts with one guy getting his ass handed to him on Wall Street. 1986. Larry Fink is 34, hotshot trader at First Boston, basically inventing the mortgage-backed securities game. He's printing money until he isn't. One bad bet on interest rates and boom, $100 mil ion loss in a single quarter. His bosses are furious. His reputation is toast. And he's sitting there staring at the screen thinking, there has to be a better way to see this shit coming. That humiliation becomes the spark. Fink realizes the real money isn't in gambling. It's in knowing exactly what the gamble is. 2 years later, in 1988, he grabs 7 buddies, $5 million in seed money from Blackstone, and starts BlackRock. The whole pitch is simple. We're not here to beat the market. We're here to measure risk so precisely that nobody ever gets blindsided again. They build this internal software monster called Aladdin, short for Asset, Liability, and Debt Indicator. Think of it as the ultimate financial MRI machine. At first, it's just for their own trades, but pretty soon other firms are begging to use it. By the mid-90s, BlackRock is quietly managing money for pension funds and insurance companies, flying way under the radar. Then 2008 happens. You remember that nightmare. Lehman Brothers collapses. AIG is hours from death. Nobody knows who owes what to whom. The Fed and Treasury are desperate for someone, anyone, who actually understands the toxic mortgage sludge clogging the system. Guess whose software mapped every single one of those securities years earlier? BlackRock gets hired to clean up Bear Stearns, AIG, Freddie Mac, you name it. They make a fortune in fees, buy Barclays' ETF business for cheap in 2009, and overnight, they're not just a risk shop anymore. They're the biggest ETF player on the planet. From there, it's straight rocket fuel. Every crisis is basically free advertising. Greece melts down? Call BlackRock. Europe needs bank stress tests? BlackRock. COVID crashes everything again. BlackRock runs the Fed's corporate bond program. Yeah, they're literally buying bonds while advising the government on what to buy. Conflict of interest? Sure, on paper. But when the world is ending, people don't ask questions. They just want the fire put out. Fast forward to right now, 2025. BlackRock's got $13 trillion under management. Aladdin is watching over $22 trillion total, including other people's money. And they vote shares at pretty much every major company in America. Coke, Apple, Exxon, Tesla. Doesn't matter. If it's in the S&P 500, BlackRock probably has a bigger voting bloc than anyone else at the table. And the craziest part? Most of this happened in plain sight. No secret handshakes, no smoky rooms, just a company that got really, really good at being the adult in the room every time the kids set the house on fire. So next time someone tells you nobody runs the world, just remember, there's a building on 52nd Street in Manhattan where a couple thousand people and one supercomputer quietly decide what happens with more money than most governments will ever see. That's the real story of how BlackRock took over, not with a bang, but with a bailout.